Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features a very good defense. The Chargers are top 10 in fewest points allowed, and they'll be up against the Raiders offense that wants to prove it can do some damage. Will this be the final season of Charger football in San Diego? I know two guys that hope it's not. That's our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
America's finest city on about as fine a Sunday afternoon as you're ever gonna see. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Brandon Oliver now on the return. Oh, the spin. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by Phillip Rivers in his 13th NFL season, and now, Charles, his 11th as the Charger starter. Quite a run.
It's been a terrific run, and somewhere Charger greats of the past are just looking at Phillip Rivers and saying he's the exact guy to follow in the chain. You know, they've always had guys who could throw it really well, big-time receivers, put up big numbers on offense. Phillip Rivers was the exact right guy to be in San Diego.
The first carry for the vet, Danny Woodhead. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well, but I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, second to last in the entire NFL. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Woodhead. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down. The 11 offensive starters for the Chargers of San Diego on your screen, and one of them who provides a lot of experience, certainly, Danny Woodhead.
Love him. We think of him as a 3rd down back, catching the ball out of the backfield, creating first downs, but he can run it inside. He did it quite effectively at Chadron State in Nebraska, set big-time records in Division II.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Rivers off the play fake to Woodhead. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So the Raiders backed up here to begin their first drive. Leading them out is a guy who's been a Raider starter since day 1. In his 3rd season now, it's Derek Carr.
And the Raiders believed in him enough to select him, so we knew that they liked him. But after they watched him play as a rookie, they realized they had their quarterback, and they wanted to build around him. Remember last year they drafted Amari Cooper to get him a #1 receiver, and they fortified the offensive line to make sure they could protect him. They know they have their #1 guy for a while, and they want it to continue that way.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And Mr. Cooper Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
On second down, here's Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And we'll take a look quickly at the San Diego defense.
I've always loved Brandon Mebane. From the time I watched him play in college through many, many productive years in the NFL, one of the best defensive tackles in the game.
So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there, so go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And some room to work. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And he cuts it right into space. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray, 78 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. 7
yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Rivers now gives to Woodhead. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
They run again with Woodhead. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Woodhead. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Malcolm Smith may have entered the league without a lot of fanfare, but how about it culminating with an MVP award in the Super Bowl?
Offense needs 11, have to think pass here on 3rd down.
Ready, block 15.
From the gun, Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he's on to punt for San Diego. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And the Raiders pick it up.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And tough starting field position here. They come out here in the eye. Now Carr with a give to Murray. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll give the Raiders a first down. So a fantastic effort by Murray, a kid born in Orlando, went to high school in New York, but came back to Orlando to go to Central Florida. You're from Orlando, Mr. Davis.
Yes, I am, and actually grew up in New York State as well. So I knew I liked this young man. And the stock in trade for him, speed. Give him some open space, and he can blaze a trail.
Carr now on first down. Caught left side to Crabtree.
Holding
the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Murray, the lone setback. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Fresh set of downs here. Play fake here on first down. And hauled in here by Rivera. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. One receiver to the left is Cooper. On first and 10, here's Carr. Complete, the tight end Rivera. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, they'll throw with Carr. A right side catch by Crabtree. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. Throwing his Carr on third down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
A touchdown apiece here in this first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. And we'll come back to San Diego after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. second down. Here's Carr. Here's Walford over the middle. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Every quarterback likes having a reliable target at tight end, and I think young quarterbacks especially, because they want to get the ball in their hands quickly. I think these two, Derek Carr and Clive Walford, that's a pretty good connection for years to come for Oakland.
Yeah, he started to come on strong end of his rookie year. Now the Raiders really hoping for that second-year jump out of Walford.
All right, here we go.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And this seemingly endless drive continues.
All right, here we go. Baby, alert, alert.
Carr will try it again on second down. Crabtree with it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And the D looking like they may blitz. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
Here we go. Red 18.
Carr to throw again. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the sack means it's third and goal now from the 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Trying for his tight end, Rivera, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. They run. with Woodhead. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
Third and long for Rivers. Inman has it over the middle. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's Woodhead. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Finding time. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Dontrell Inman, the intended target. And now it's 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for San Diego. Here's Jones. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Raiders will take possession. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now it's 2nd and 7. They come out here in the eye. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Carr turns, hands to Murray. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the offense in that middle ground here on third down, 3rd and 5.
Here we go. Red 18.
Here's Carr to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout. A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. Rivers on 1st down. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It's a gain of 21 that time. And the Chargers are going to have a first down. And now a first down following that long gain. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Rivers. Johnson with a completion over the middle. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll give the Chargers a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. second and very short here, less than a yard. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Again, it's Rivers. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. From the red zone now, Rivers. His throw caught at about the 5. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll throw again, Rivers. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Stevie Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Lambo to add on the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. It's a short kick, taken near the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Final play of the half, Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Chargers right now are doing a good job protecting their house. The Raiders haven't played horribly, but will need to improve if they want to win this one. All right, let's roll those highlights. Raiders taking control early in the first. Carr is under fire and will throw the pick. Chargers take advantage and return it for a touchdown. The Chargers now on top. Raiders with the football early first. Murray's going to stay up the middle, and he's going for the 79-yard touchdown. Raiders tied up at 7. Third down from inside the 10. Under duress, and the pass is picked off. Chargers defense comes away with the turnover. Chargers have it at the 2. Here he'll look into the end zone. And after the short pass, he'll score. Chargers up now by 7. So that'll do it for us. We'll go back now to San Diego for the second half.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And he will take a knee here. So per the new rules in 2016, this will be brought out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, it's Murray. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts. I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
We ready? Wide and
They go play action here on 1st down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, it's Holmes. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Certainly not the numbers that he was hoping for. Rough last week, rough again here.
And I've got to tell you, I'm surprised because I'm used to guys bouncing back from tough performances, but right now it appears he's in a little bit of a rut.
So whoever the guy is on the team that he trusts the most, whether it's the coordinator, the quarterback's coach, one of his friends.
Pep talk.
Yeah, it's pep talk time. It's time to get into his head a little bit and try and see if he can get him straightened out.
Needed 13. They got 14 on third down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Carr going to throw. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Five yards left for the offense. It's second down.
Hey, we go rally. Rally. Zebra.
Cooper will come in motion right. Murray. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Zebra. All right, here we go. Red 18.
On first and 10, here's Carr. Wide open receiver complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On first down, Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Holmes has got it complete. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
First down, Murray. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Wide at the 8.
They go with Murray again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Well, let the natural light of today reflect that he is now getting into the end zone 2 times.
Look at you. You're a little Ralph Waldo Emerson, is that his name?
No, I was just going with the meteorologist. Said it was a day game. I'm here.
Janikowski on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Now here's Johnson. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And marching back out there now, the Raiders defense gets ready. One receiver left, that's Allen. On 1st and 10, Rivers. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And on 2nd and 10 now. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. It's hauled in here by Edmond. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. From the gun, Rivers finds his target. It's Gates. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. On the ground, this is Woodhead. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Hunter Henry out of the University of Arkansas was definitely the consensus top tight end in the 2016 draft. I thought he might sneak into the 1st round. He didn't, but I think that Phillip Rivers is really happy to have him in San Diego. They're already starting to make that connection.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
2nd down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Mission Valley and San Diego. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Rivers on 1st down. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line, that room to run just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
Well, it was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they take a 17-14 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Here's Taiwan Jones on the return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A chance for us to look at this Chargers defense again. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Well, sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. Carr now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, a 22.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. One receiver to the left is Cooper. On first down, Carr. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Hey, we go rally. Rally. Zebra. Zebra. All right, here we go. Red 18.
Back to the air on second. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now Carr. Wide open, Amari Cooper. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Now here's Danny Woodhead. He and the offense gearing up to take the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about the 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
It's a gain of 14 there. And the Chargers are going to have a first down.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down, Rivers. Inman has it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards there for number 15. So they're operating in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
throwing. Rivers. This will be caught just inside the 10. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Rivers from the gun on third down. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Danny Woodhead, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Lambo on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Now Jones. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, you know, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. A right side catch by Crabtree. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
Back to throw. Carr. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Hey, we go rally. Here we go. Red.
To throw is Carr. Over the middle, it's Holmes. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Carr to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 37. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so now then, the field goal puts you back within 1 score, but I'd be surprised if this is not an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, you still got the 2 timeouts, but I think you're right. I think you roll the dice right here.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the game.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Jones on the return. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. 1 receiver to the left is Cooper. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end that time, Michael Rivera. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Ten yards to go on 3rd. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. He'll look to throw. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Baby, alert, alert. All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. Back to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for San Diego, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they'll drop to 10-4 on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chargers are winners here as we say so long from Southern California.